congratulations on getting through to the fourth round today, Taylor. Can you walk us through how you think the match went for you today?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was really nice to not have to really get into those like pressure situations. You expect to play some breakers, maybe be in some tight spots on the serve where you get broken and you might just lose the set. So it's nice to get a break early in the first and then find it as well in the second, and get through that without any stress.
Hey Taylor, Adam Ross, Florida Tennis. You're known to be very close friends with Reilly. Mm-hmm. When you got a matchup against a close friend like Reilly, what's that like for you? And also, when you were training together, just to piggyback on that, back in the day with you, Tommy, Reilly, who was the strongest one of you guys back in the day? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not fun. It's not necessarily fun to play your friends. I've been doing it for a long time, having played Reilly, Tommy, Francis so many times that you just kind of get used to it, and it is what it is. You guys just go out and play. And yeah, I mean, it depends. I guess depends when. I mean, when I kind of met all of them when we were like 14, 15, I'd say they'll tell you I was the worst for sure. And then, yeah, they all confirm that. That's not really up for debate. I'd say Francis was probably the most ahead, and Tommy, and then I'd say like Tommy, Reilly. I think those guys were pretty like all close. I would say. I feel like I was definitely clearly behind.
Hey Taylor, this is more of a broader question, but you've got such a great serve and a great game off the ground. But a lot of experts and pundits talk about how, you being more willing to come forward and finishing points at the net would sort of take you to the next level in terms of like winning big titles. So I'm wondering, how do you see that part of your game, and do you agree with them?
Yeah, I can. This is like a thing I can ramble on about for a really long time, but I think you can classify. I classify coming into net into like, I can put it into three separate types of balls to come into net on, and I think there's certain ones that are good to come to net on. I think there's certain ones that are only good if you are like top tier volleyer, like maybe only like, I don't know, 5 or 6 guys. I think there's come to net options where only those guys will win more than they lose, and then I think there's times where you're kind of just forced to come in. And for me, I think like I agree that finishing more points at net will help me, but I also think it's more about me being able to generate more pace off of some of these dead balls, which then allows me to come in behind it. I think sometimes the approaches I'm hitting when I don't have the, I guess, pace to work off of, it's just not good enough against some of the guys that are so fast and pass so well. I don't think I'm putting them in a tough enough position to where I'm probably not going to get past, or at least they're going to hit a good enough pass to where if I don't hit like the perfect volley, they'll just pass me on the next ball. So I think it's like a really easy thing for someone to say, oh, well, if he comes in net, he'll win more. I think that's kind of like a super bailout, no effort, like respond, like just thing that like a commentator can say. But I think there's a lot of complexities to it, and I think it's, for me, I think I need to get in more, but it's more about getting better at the shots beforehand. So when I do get in, it's just an easier volley to put away.
Two separate things, actually. First one was just talking to Jess Pegula before the tournament. She was mentioning you as one of the guys who's been responsive when she's part of this effort for the top 10 men and women over the past year or so to talk to the Grand Slams, providing more support in various different categories of financial support. I'm curious for you what your role in that project has been like, and then also what your sort of sense of optimism about affecting change with it is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, my role is, I'd say it's just to the extent of this is the cause, this is the cause. I believe in it. I support it. I'm with, all the other players, because I do believe most of everyone in the top 10 is behind it. And that's that's kind of I'm not someone who likes to really like overstretch themselves with extra stuff to do. So, my support is there. I think that, we're pushing for what's fair. And I think the Grand Slams are such a large, just pillar of tennis. I think when you see what, certain things the ATP does for us, they can also contribute more as well.
And the second thing, just we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but Sebi's currently up a set and a break on Alcaraz, and this would be obviously a huge result for him. He's had a big result in Delray as well. I'm curious how much you've seen of him this year and what this sort of win, or even obviously getting close, would sort of signal about what he's doing from what you've seen.
Yeah, I saw a lot. I saw a lot of him in Dallas. Obviously, we had a very, very close match. I thought I played very well in that match and was still 2 points away from losing it. So I know Sebi's been playing really well. I feel like he's been serving. He's always returned well, struck the ball, great off the base, and I think he's been serving pretty better than normal. He's been serving really well, I think, and playing with confidence. And obviously, I can say this now, and it's not. You don't need to believe me or not, but I did say I felt like this was going to be a really close match.
Taylor, speaking of that, it's Korda's first time against world number one. We know how difficult that could be. Taking me back, your first time against Djokovic, 2019 Monte Carlo. Your feeling going in, excitement, scared, challenged, and then, of course, take me to the point where you finally got one against Alcaraz, the feeling.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I don't actually think that I'm playing I guess a world number one. To me, it's kind of if the person's been number one and it's one of those top guys, it's all the same to me. It's honestly surprising to hear, because I'm a little surprised. When I played Nadal before, I kind of thought he might have been number one in the world. Though, yeah, I guess not. So, yeah, but what I'm saying, it's kind of all the same to me at that point. But yeah, I was excited in that moment to play Djokovic. It wasn't about. I guess I wasn't thinking about him being world number one. It was just Novak. And yeah, it's just great to go out there and play, especially when when I was super young back then. No pressure and just kind of have fun.
And when you finally beat Alcaraz, sense of accomplishment, I could beat a number one.
Like I said, I don't really specify it as if they're number one or not. That means you just beat them on a certain week. I think all the if you beat someone who's number two, who's been number one, it's the same as I know I can beat someone who's number one. It's not it's not any different, like a special thing. Obviously, that was a big match for the team at Laver Cup. I was super happy that I delivered a big win against a really good player for the team, and I didn't even realize that was my first time beating a world number one, I guess.
You mentioned at the beginning of the conference that every set seems to be a tiebreaker. I think 6 of your last 7 sets against Reilly went to tiebreakers. So what did you do today against a serve that you think was able to get those early breaks?
I mentioned it a bit on court. I think you got to just feel it out sometimes based on the court conditions, the balls, whether what feels better. Sometimes standing up close feels better. Sometimes going to the fence feels better. It changes just based off the conditions. So I kind of felt it out early on. I went up. I started up, and then I went back, and then it definitely felt for me that I was having more success standing back, and kind of just stayed with it. And he in the first set to give me the break just made some mistakes when I put the returns in play, and then in the second set I was able to just kind of steal a couple points that I normally wouldn't win, which I don't do that often. So that made me pretty happy. I feel like the way that I broke him in the second was kind of a way that I think I get broken a lot, and people was just kind of defensively floating balls on the baseline, resetting the point. And I feel like it's funny because I feel like the way I broke him in the second was how sometimes people break me, and it's pretty annoying. Thanks.